कुमार स्वामी नायक गोंगो लिबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
In the news tonight, traffic delays of up to 90 minutes in Suva. Tuna stock declines. And village declared unsafe due to land cracks.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
Road users in the Suva-Nosori corridor will have to leave home early, for they will face delays of up to an hour and a half during peak hours from tomorrow until end of April. This as the Fiji Roads Authority is unable to complete rehabilitation on Nokonoko, Grantham and Tumbo roads on time due to wet weather conditions. Josai Nanunga has the story.
The smooth flow of traffic may seem unusual over the next few weeks, as commuters in various roads in the greater Suva area will face bumper-to-bumper traffic at peak hours.
Because at the moment our road base is saturated and we don't want to do construction straight on top of it, put the seal on straight on top of it. So we'll have to wait and get at least a day's sun on it before we can start sealing the road again.
These contracted workers are putting their hard yards, trying to complete the work soon. And in some instances, the road will be closed or reduced to a single lane. And the traveling public are advised to factor in extra time while commuting along the Grantham Road.
This government here is trying to build and rehabilitate the human rights of public in terms of building the road, not only here in Grantham Road, but all over Fiji.
It's a good initiative, but hopefully work is done in an effective and efficient manner, as school is starting again.
This will improve the condition of our roads and will help drivers too.
A number of people raised their concerns to FBC News that they faced issues on the road which had more than usual delays for a non-busy day and has been affecting their business.
It's okay for asking, but at the moment, the daytime, when the road close, that's the time we don't have any customers.
It's a good initiative by FRA, but sometimes we are affected as well, as customers don't have a space to park.
Prasad says dust affecting roadside vendors will only last for few hours, considering the current weather situation.
We will keep keeping the dust down by watering as and when needed.
With schools recommencing tomorrow, people who regularly use this Nokonoko road in peak hours will face massive traffic jams. The Fiji Roads Authority has also confirmed that most rehabilitation work will be carried out at night into the curfew hours, while some work will be done during the day. Josai Nanunga, FBC News.
Amongst Fiji's biggest fish exporters, Solanda Pacific is struggling to keep business afloat due to the low tuna catch within our waters. General Manager Radhika Kumar says they've noted a decline in tuna catch in recent years due to poaching in our exclusive economic zone and climate change. Details with Chasaina Nunga.
Solanda Pacific says border restrictions have also affected the export of high-grade fish and tuna to the New Zealand, Japanese, the US and European markets.
Tuna species are migrating species, and they travel from other waters to our waters. And if our fish is being basically caught before it enters Fiji waters, then we can't see, it's difficult for us to catch that fish because it's already been caught.
The company owns and operates over 10 longliners, which operates within Fiji's EEZ.
The catches has been declining in Fiji waters, and now boats have to go distant, far distant to catch fish. The decline in tuna definitely will affect the supplies, but then it's just the Western Central Pacific. This is us in the Western Central Pacific, right?
Despite the decline, Pacific Fishing Company maintains they continue to receive adequate supplies from external longliners. Chair Iqbal Janif says 2021 looks promising for the business.
So our stock holding is reasonably good at this stage. and we are hoping that we will be able to continue receiving the tuna that we require and continue to process at our normal rate.
The fishing company remains hopeful that the price of fish will go up so their business can become more viable. Chosayenanunga, FBC News.
Close to 50 families of Nambavatu village in Raketi, Maduata have been evacuated as a precaution after prominent land cracks were detected in several places in the village. The land cracks started appearing after several days of heavy downpour before and during Tropical Cyclone Ana. Eleanor View reports.
Nambavatu village, a week after Tropical Cyclone Ana hit Fiji. And also a week since 47 families moved out of their homes due to this. Land cracks running across the village in several places.
We woke up to this last Sunday morning. It started around 4 a.m. and then at midday again.
The longest crack runs from the home of the village padre across the ground and into the church. Inside the church, the crack is visible from one wall across the floor and onto the other wall. It then runs downhill across the village footpath and under several homes, causing damage and further weakening the structure.
It was scary. It's the first time for us to see it happen.
What first started as small, narrow cracks have now expanded. They've gone wider and longer. This one here in particular runs right under that house, which is now caved in.
After their survey, the Lands and Mineral Resources told us we can't stay here anymore. We have to move.
FBC News understands a piece of land has been identified for the families to move to temporarily.
The piece of land is ready. We have set it aside. We won't move anywhere else, just here in Raketi.
The 47 families are currently taking shelter at Raketi Central College, and they will have to vacate the school premises soon to allow for cleaning and disinfecting before classes resume. Eleanor View, FBC News.
Two cousins who went missing in open waters during the height of Tropical Cyclone Ana have shared the story about their 4-day ordeal out at sea. The duo went on a fishing trip and were separated from each other when their boat capsized, forcing them to go days without food and water. Kelly Wadala reports.
The memories of floating at sea, not knowing if they will survive, will forever haunt cousins Nero Christopher and Areta Tion.
We never sleep on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, no food. And the rain there, we get wet all day, every day, but still from there we managed to swim. So 20 people praying for us. Saturday night, the boat capsized there. I thought the fellow already mati.
Christopher says they were on the same uninhabited island near Dravuni village, Kandavu, separated by the rugged terrain.
And I told him, hey, there's another friend in the reef. And the captain said, no, don't worry, your friend there. The village say when they saw him far there, that side, in the middle, they thought one turtle want to come and lay egg in the...
Ravuni Turangani Koro Chochi Kovelali says the villagers were cleaning up after TC Ana passed when they noticed someone swimming to shore.
We saw one of them struggling to stay afloat, so we all ran to the beach and the villagers went out to rescue him. He was so weak and couldn't talk. We knew he was out at sea for some time, so we took him in.
The two fishermen had left for Tuanga Suva for a fishing trip on the 28th of last month. The acting commissioner, Rusete Tundravo, deployed a team of officers to traditionally thank the people of Dravuni for looking after the two men and to safely escort them to Suva. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Up ahead, search and rescue missions costly, says Fiji Navy. And former chef opens new restaurant.
मैं तो दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
The operational cost associated with search and rescue missions by the Fiji Navy runs into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Navy Commander Captain Humphrey Tawake says these unnecessary costs can be saved if people are more responsible and make informed decisions before going out to sea. Kelly Vadala reports.
Taking one of these vessels out at sea for a search and rescue effort is costly.
We're chartering a boat to respond to any situation. That is, in the first day it is $40,000 automatically, and in subsequent days that follows, that'll be about another $7,000 to $10,000 of extra fuel that we will use. So it is quite so. Say if we spend another 5 or 10 days, it reaches the hundreds of thousands very easily.
Captain Tawake says this does not include aerial search.
The aeroplanes that we do hire, if it is required, out of Nosuri or out of Nandi, so that's talking about say $4,000 to $6,000 an hour. If we're spending about 10 hours, that's easy another $60,000. See, so the cost involved is quite enormous for a small economy for Fiji.
Police saying deploying their officers to such missions not only cost the force thousands of dollars but also put lives at risk.
To make sure that they do not put themselves in harm's way, because at the end of the day, you'll also be putting others in harm's way because they'll have to carry out the rescue missions, and that's the last thing we want.
The Fiji Navy in its search and rescue missions last year saved 245 lives. It says majority of the cases were due to sheer negligence during bad weather. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The construction on the first ever Girmet Museum in Fiji is currently underway. It is an initiative by the Global Girmet Institute to immortalize the history of Girmet and also educate people about Girmetism. Felipe Naikaso reports.
This museum, once completed, will feature an indoor setup as well as an outdoor display.
The actual framework that we're looking up in here is to collect the Girmet era artifacts and show the lifestyle then and how it has transited from that up to date, and home farms, lifestyle, music, dance, garments, jewelries, community, religion events that we are planning to exhibit in.
Work had halted for a while due to the pandemic. However, the Institute is doing all it can to see the first phase completed. The Institute is also planning to set up a heritage database that will allow people to trace back their roots.
Although they are living in Fiji in here, but it's very important to know the roots. For some people it's very important to know. Some people have forgotten and moved on. But the idea is because some people still, the younger generation, they actually want to know where they came from.
There's also a few festivals that we will be celebrating, which will provide an educational background about it, because until today, many don't really know the importance of these religious functions.
The main purpose of the museum is to create awareness, promote, build and also educate the younger generation. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Strong parent advocacy has ensured that 6-year-old Namish Chaudhry remains healthy and active in school despite having type 1 diabetes. Chaudhry was diagnosed with diabetes when he was 3 years old and has since changed his lifestyle. Dipesh Kumar reports.
Namish Chaudhry had to learn about diabetes at an age when many children live a carefree life.
Type 1 diabetes is when your pancreas is not working, and when your pancreas is not working, your sugar got low. Because when it's low, I need to eat candies and sweets. And when it's high, drink water.
The class 1 student is thankful of the support from his parents, teachers and friends.
Mommy and Daddy help me every day by giving me tiny pinch and big pinch. And when I get sick, I eat sweets. In school, my teachers and friends help me. When I get too sick, they give me candies and call Mommy.
Namish's mother Devina Chaudhry says they want their son to become an independent person.
Us, we are trying to make Namish
a very strong person. We want him to stand out there and make his own decisions, take care of himself. He does not have to depend on anyone.
There are around 500 young diabetics in Fiji. Worldwide, the prevalence estimates indicate that there are almost 500,000 children aged under 15 years with type 1 diabetes. Dipesh Kumar, FBC News.
Despite losing his job because of the pandemic, a former resort chef decided to not wait around but create his own destiny. Mohammed Zabir opened his fast food restaurant in Seweni Lotoka to continue supporting his family. Felipe Naikaso with tonight's successful Fijian story.
It's a humble establishment that was set up to look after the welfare of his family.
It's not an easy thing. We have to do a lot of work like cleaning up this area, make it nice and good looking for everyone to come and enjoy their meal. So that's why we made more tables and stuff so people they can come, sit down, have the tea.
We decided we need to get something out of it, but we applied jobs at a lot of places and he didn't get it because it was a bad time and people would not employ anyone like that. And so we decided to do this and our motivation was to reach our goal.
Mohammed Zabir, who has been unemployed since last March, had to look for a way to earn money for his 2 kids. Zabir and his wife did manage to find an alternative, selling food door to door, but they were later hit by a roadblock that eventually changed their lives.
So we were taking orders online and then we were moving around and delivering people online. So just because of one man, he fraud us. He bought some stuffs from us like pizza, plow and all that stuff, and then he didn't pay us. And then we were in a big loss from that man.
It seemed impossible for the couple to recover. However, as the saying goes, there's light at the end of the tunnel. It was through their misfortune they found the landlord of this particular space.
We started here last year, October. So from that time we had been selling plow and pastry stuffs, but it wasn't working out. So we decided to sell balu fish and chips. And from that time we had been growing.
With business now rolling slowly, the couple has big plans.
It's my future planning about that. So it's like a starting for us in this one. So we're gonna move on. Something in a big way.
Because he'd been an Asian chef at Shantara, Radisson. He's been managing one restaurant, whole restaurant that was Shantara. So he's been doing Asian from past 9 years. So we have been thinking that we will start that very soon.
An investment of $4 grand has seen this small restaurant generate a steady income for their family of 4. The couple is also calling on others who have lost their jobs to not lose hope but venture into new things. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Ahead in sports, Gareth Baber rates Kitione Talinga. And Fiji FA Women's Super League begins. This and more after the break.
Bola, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Fiji Sevens head coach Gareth Baber has rated Olympian Kitione Talinga as one of the standout players of the Uprising Sevens tournament. Talinga, who has been out of the Sevens circuit for years, made a comeback for the Fiji Sevens side as they walked away with the Uprising Sevens title in Pacific Harbour yesterday. Karolaini Tavi reports.
A show of the ball, the step, still Talinga.
Kitione Talinga is slowly finding his form and will be a force to be reckoned with in upcoming tournaments.
I thought one of the standout performances was actually Kitty Talinga. I mean, you know, it's been a while since we've seen Kitty play like that. He's got a bit of work to do with regards to his fitness, he knows that. But he was doing things on the field here that Wise Nathungu does, that Vatemo used to do.
Fiji Sevens playmaker Levi Ikanikonda says it was good to see his fellow servicemen back on the field.
We played together for the police team. We've been combination from there, and after that, that we came out and combi again. We played together again here in the Fiji Sevens team. So it's not different from both of us.
This would mean that young players in the national squad will need to step up to compete with veterans like Talinga.
To thank the management for giving me the opportunity to lead the team. And there's many young boys we play together these 2 days. And thank them for the great effort that we come out and we win the tournament.
Kitione Talinga was part of Fiji's first Olympic gold medal win in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in 2016. Caroline Tavi, FBC Sports.
Crosser Victory put up an impressive performance during the Mobile Uprising Sevens tournament, giving elite teams a hard time during the 2-day competition. The side, although only consisting of 4 experienced players, will be a team to keep a close eye on during the upcoming local sevens tournaments. Venina Rakautonga reports.
Very good work by the Taviuni side.
Being pulled with the national sevens side was not a threat, but a good learning experience.
It was a really good experience, especially for most of us, because most of the time you just see them on TV and just see them playing out there. But to be playing against them, it's a really good experience for the boys.
Puka Aisake Mbula says the team is making a return after 2 years and have goals to achieve.
I think it's a good outing for the boys. We came out here to just play our best, to support the Taviuni team.
Youngest player William Mengolea says there are some areas the team needs to work on. The Somosomo youngster says he was mentally prepared to play against the national squad, which turned out to be a great experience.
We have learned a lot in this tournament, especially playing against the national team. We were training this week and just telling each other that we will meet the Fiji team.
The Taviuni-based side played against Fiji on Friday and lost 12-14. The side will travel back home to prepare for the upcoming Nawaka Sevens. Venina Rakautonga, FBC Sports.
The 2021 Combat Sportswear Supporting Grassroots program has been making good progress over the years. The program organizers are aiming to reach a new level this year with the support from its sponsors. Caroline Tavi reports the program enhances rugby coaching and playing skills.
Even Levuka-based company Bumblebee has caught the attention of the program.
But I've also allowed to expand out, and that's where we've gone in partnership with Combat Sportswear and Malachi and his team to get this these training clinics off the ground.
The program proper is set to begin next week. It will start from Tailevu and end in Savu-Savu next month.
The first rugby clinic will be next week on the 10th of February 2021 at Naimborambor village in the Tikin of Wungale. In the province of Tailevu, a one-day rugby clinic will be hosted at that village with 2 rugby clubs joining in.
The program was launched on Friday with timely donations worth more than $20,000 from Bumblebee Foods, Ramsamy & Sons Fiji Limited and Sea Change. Caroline Tavi, FBC Sports.
Scotland has claimed a first win at Twickenham since 1983 after a shocking 11-6 Six Nations victory over England today. Scotland capitalised on the hosts' ill discipline to get a chance at a penalty from returning fly half Finn Russell. Defending champions England clawed back 6 points, and Russell's charge was briefly halted by a yellow card, but a resilient Scotland was undeterred and added another penalty. Fiji Football Association will kick off its women's competition with the Super League Series next month. The tournament will feature top 6 women's teams, which includes Suva, Rewa, Tailevu, Naitasiri, Nandronga, Ba and Lambasa. In support of this initiative, Fiji FA yesterday donated training equipment to these teams to help in their Super League campaign. National women's head coach Marika Rondu says the pressure is now on the teams to prove themselves to maintain their spot.
The new concept will bring more responsibility in terms of the teams and the official. They will feel more included in terms of the competition. They will no longer play in zonal. It's a step forward to play in the national league.
Fiji football star Roy Krishna continued his goal-scoring momentum in ATK Mohan Bagan's 4-1 win over Odisha FC this morning. Krishna, who is now leading the Golden Boot race, played his part in all 4 goals with 2 assists and 2 strikes of his own. Cloudy periods with afternoon showers and thunderstorms was experienced over the country today. In the west, cloudy skies with light rain at intervals. From Pacific Harbour to Suva, skies were overcast with humid conditions. Scattered showers experienced late in the afternoon. And in the north, mostly cloudy, rain expected to develop from tomorrow. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas, moderate southeast swells, poor visibility in areas of heavy showers and rain and thunderstorms. Turning to the tides, the next low tide is at 9:19 p.m., followed by high tide at 3:45 a.m. Sunrise is at 5:57. Outlook for tomorrow, rain expected to develop and become frequent and heavy at times with few thunderstorms from the afternoon. Outlook for Tuesday, rain continuing over the northern and eastern parts of the country. Elsewhere, cloudy periods with some showers. Recapping our main stories, traffic delays of up to 90 minutes in Suva, tuna stock declines, and village declared unsafe due to land cracks. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question, this week we're asking, should those found swimming in flooded areas be prosecuted? Visit our FBC website to answer. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, or you can share it with us via our Facebook and Twitter accounts. That's your news for tonight. Until tomorrow, you stay safe and Wadamamba.
Natango merea maramani waya manatuya sawa wetikitukunde nandi ya ndo marataka na varonga na Radio Fiji 1.
Radio Fiji 1 nandomo iviti.